about the activist group that trained her didn't care about.
But you want to change the subject to
nobody here. You say you. Nobody has said. She said annoying things, and
But that's leading by saying she obstructed traffic.
And that is the problem, Jessica. Nobody cares about good. You don't care about her. The left never cared about. The activist group that trained her didn't care about it, who should be sued for wrongful death, who put her in this situation. She had no friends. She had no relatives to offer her advice.
Get heated on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a Jessica Tarlov video. We haven't done one in a while. And boy, oh boy, since we've done one, things have gotten much worse, not only with her, but with the country. And Greg Gutfeld is literally going to stop the show here and fact check her. He's going to fact check her like no tomorrow. And he goes on a rant. And I honestly don't even want to talk much because, as you can see at the start of this video, I showed you guys a preview of what's about to happen here. But this, he's going to go into like some type of monologue, right? Because we know he does a show like late night where he does these monologues. Guys, he's about to go off on Jessica Tarlov, and I'm going to play it from the beginning. Make sure to smash the like button. They're talking about Renee Good. He's confronting her and telling her straight up to her face, you do not really care about this. And he also gives an analogy that leaves Jessica Tarlov and the rest of the studio on Fox literally speechless. Let's take a listen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's actually go here to where it all started. This is where it all started, right here. If we go a little bit right here, let's take a listen.
Talk about that. Justify Officer Ross's actions.
No one said any of that.
Yeah, but you want to change the subject to
nobody here. You say you. Nobody has said, she said annoying things. And
but that's leading by saying she obstructed traffic. Ignores the most important part of the story, which is that there is a woman who is dead. And Officer Ross
broke the law.
Actually,
I'll get to it.
And guess what? I look forward to it, and then I'll jump in and I will annoy everyone and we'll go back to normal. But Officer Ross's own filming of the incident shows exactly what happened, including the fact that he was already to the side of the car when he fired the first shot, and there was no justifiable reason. And there have been many law enforcement officers who've spoken out against this to at least fire those second two shots into the side of the car. And if you don't think that this guy had animus, if you don't think that this guy was angry and not just acting in self-defense, when he walks away and says, effing B-I-T-C-A.
Oh, now you're talking about.
And now this is where everything changes, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
The argument over the shooting is irrelevant if you deny the premise for them being there. This is part of the strategic ignorance where the other side doesn't understand things. Why is ICE here? Why is breaking the law wrong? Why do we need this kind of enforcement? What is wrong with an open border? Then you're forced to explain everything, which takes forever, even though you know that they know. Because the same rules that govern civil order also operates under their lives. So, you know, you don't sneak into Disneyland, you pay. You don't cut in line at the movies, you wait in line. You don't interfere with the police. You know it's wrong. So until you don't admit that your private and public behavior align, you are living a lie. I want every liberal, because we have millions of liberals watching this show, to engage in a thought scenario, okay? You ask your sister this question. So what are your plans today, Deborah? And she goes, well, I plan on filming myself harassing and impeding armed law enforcement. Well, so how would you respond to?
Okay, I got to stop here. I just got the chills. Okay, here's why I got the chills. He is looking directly at everybody at the table. And I'm not going to lie, this analogy is so good. And he also addressed the fact that there are millions of liberals that watch Fox News. And in particular, they watch The Five. And guys, watch how he literally takes over the whole show and talks directly to Jessica Tarlov, the only liberal on set.
Enforcement. Well, so how would you respond to your sister? You'd say, honey, do you think that's wise? What about the kids? Where are the kids? Oh, I drop them off at daycare. So what time are you doing this? At 11? Aren't you working? Oh, no, not at the moment. So you drop your kids off at daycare, you're not working, and you're going to stalk law enforcement. Don't you think this is time you should spend with your family, or maybe do a job search or take some classes? don't you think this is unhealthy behavior? Now, if you deny to a family member or to a best friend that this is how you would react, you are lying to yourself to protect your public virtue on this matter. This is how you get, in my opinion, the fake empathy liberal to return to reality. If your sister is telling you that instead of caring for her children or her mental health, that she prefers to stalk law enforcement, would you say, you go, girl? Of course not. You would say, you need an intervention. I need to stop you because I care about you. And that is the problem, Jessica. Nobody cares about good. You don't care about her. The left never cared about. The activist group that trained her didn't care about it, who should be sued for wrongful death, who put her in this situation. She had no friends. She had no relatives to offer her advice when she was doing this stuff, when she was putting her life in jeopardy. Think about this pathetic movement and all the videos you've seen of these women. Where are their friends? Where are their parents? Where are the kids that would say, Mommy, what are you doing? Why aren't you home? The left always says that politics is personal, but then they separate their political behavior from their personal reality. If you would tell your sister that this behavior is nuts, then you would not publicly express an entirely different opinion on this matter. No one wants their sister or their daughter or friend engaging in this any more than you would want your child to engage in the Tide Pod challenge or Subway surf. So you need to ask this question before every action you think you're going to endorse. If your private persona and your public behavior is different, you are a lying hypocrite and you're hurting others and you're not helpful to these lonely, sad people that we're leading on in this world.
Woo!